first grade. How are you? It is time to get started with our math lesson today. Our math lesson is going to begin with our number talks, and Miss Barnes is going to be leading your math lesson today. So get ready. Here we go.
Hello, first grade friends. For our number talks today, we are going to start with this problem right here. So get ready. Okay, look at this. How many do you see? Now, turn and tell somebody next to you how many you saw. Good. Now, how did you see them? Good. Now, let's look at it together. When I look at this, I see 4 on the top row, 2 in the middle row, and 4 on the bottom row. You may have seen them in a different way, and that's okay. So now let's write our equation. We have 4 plus 2 plus 4. And all together, that equals 10. Good job. Okay, for our second one, get ready. You're only going to have a couple seconds to look. How many do you see? Turn and tell somebody next to you how many you saw. Good. Now tell them how you saw them. Okay, let's look at it together. We have 3 on the top row, 4 on the middle row, and 3 on the bottom row. So let's write our equation. We have 3 plus 4 plus 3. What does that equal? That equals 10. So there is another way we can make 10. All right, this next one we are going to go to 10 frames, okay? So get ready. How many do you see? Turn and tell somebody around you how many you saw. Good. Now tell them how you saw them. Great. Let's look at it together. I see 3 on the top row and 4 on the bottom row. So now let's think. How many do we have left before we fill up the 10 frame? There's 1, 2, 3 left. So we know that there are 7, and we need 3 more. So we're going to add 3, and that equals 10. We could also flip this and start with 10 because we know it's a 10 frame. So we can start with our 10. And how do we make 10? We already said we know there's 7 in the 10 frame already, and we need to add 3 more. So that's another way to write an equation for this 10 frame. Let's do another one. Are you ready? How many do you see? Tell someone near you how many you see. Good job. Now tell them how you saw them. Excellent work. Let's look at it together. I see 2 on the top row and 5 on the bottom row. So let's think. We know this is a 10 frame, so our total number is going to be 10. So we need to think, how many do we have left until the 10 frame is filled up? Think about that for a second. Let's get private think time. How many do we have left to fill up the 10 frame? Did you think about it? Good job. We know there are 7 already here. We've already talked about that, so we know that's one of our numbers. And if we count on the 10 frame, 1, 2, 3, we need 3 more to equal 10. So that's how we write that problem. Nice job, friends. Let's move on to another 10 frame. Are you ready? How many do you see? Turn and tell someone around you how many you saw. Great job. Now tell them how you saw them. Great. Let's look at it together. When I look at this 10 frame, I see 3 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So let's think, how many more do we need to fill up the 10 frame and make a total of 10? Let's have some private think time and think about it. Excellent work. So we know that we need 10 total, so we can start by saying 10. Now we need to figure out how to get 10. We know there are already 7 in the 10 frame because there are 3 on the top and 4 on the bottom. So that's going to be our first number over here. Did you guys think during your private think time how many we have left to make 10? Let's count and find out. 1, 2, 3. We need 3 more to make 10. So 7 plus 3 equals 10. If you got that right, give yourself a pat on the back. Okay, friends, we have 1 left in our number talks. So let's see what this one is. It's different. We're going back to the dots or beads. How many do you see? Turn and tell someone near you how many you saw. Great job. Now, how did you see them? Great. Let's look at it together. Okay, when I look at this problem, I see 2 on the first row, 2 more on the next row, 4 on this row, and 2 on the last row. So let's write that equation out. 2 plus 2 plus 4 plus 2. Let's take some private think time and see if you can figure out what that equals. Great job. We know there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Did you get it right? Did you figure out that there was 10? If so, give yourself a round of applause. Great job on our number talks, friends. Now we are going to start with the Reckon Wreck. Let me get our Reckon Wreck out over here. Okay, hello, friends. As you guys probably remember, we have been working with a Reckon Wreck this week. And just a reminder, in case you've forgotten, a Reckon Wreck is a tool with 2 rows with beads on each row. So now I am going to show you the Reckon Wreck, and you're going to tell me how many beads you see. Are you ready? Let me get it ready for you. Okay, are you ready? You only have a second to look, so you've got to look quick. How many do you see? Turn and tell someone around you how many you saw. Good. Now tell them how you saw them. Great. Let's look at it together. On the top row, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 beads. And on the bottom row, we have 1, 2, 3, 4 beads. And we know all together that is how many? 10 beads. That's right. And we also know by looking at this Reckon Wreck that the top row has the most beads because 6 is a bigger number than 4. Good job, friends. Let's go to the next one. Get your brains ready because I'm going to give you a hard one this time. Okay, are you ready? How many beads do you see? When you've got the answer, tell someone near you. Great job. Now tell them how you saw them. Excellent. Let's look at it together. When we look at this Reck and Rec, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads on the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads on the bottom. When you looked at this, you might have been able to notice that there are the same exact number of beads on both rods. You can know that because when you look at the beads, they are the same, they are equal. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 beads on the top, and we know it is the same on the bottom, so we can easily add 5 and 5, and we know that makes 10. Excellent work, friends. Let's do another. Okay, are you ready? How many beads do you see? Okay, when you know, tell someone near you. Good job. Now tell them how you saw them. Great. Let's look at it together. When we look at our Reck and Rec, we see we have 1, 2, 3 beads on the top, and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beads on the bottom. Is that what you saw? If it is, then excellent job. When we look at this Reck and Rec, we know 7 plus 3 equals 10. There are 10 beads. But let's think, which row has the least number of beads? Think about that for a second. Did you figure it out? Let's talk about it. We see that there are 1, 2, 3 beads on the top, and there are 7 beads on the bottom. We know that 3 is a smaller number than 7. That means the top row has the least amount of beads on it. Excellent work, friends. We have one more left. Okay, are we ready? How many do you see? When you think you know, tell somebody near you. Great work. Now, how did you see them? Okay, let's talk about it. When we look at the Reck and Rec, we see we have 1, 2, we have 2 beads on the top. Let's count the bottom row. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 beads on the bottom. So to find out the total number of beads, we need to add 2 plus 8. Let's think for 1 second in our brains. What is 2 plus 8? It's 10. That's right. You guys are so smart. Now let's figure out which row has the most beads on it. We know that there are 8 beads on the bottom and 2 on the top. That means we know that the bottom row has the most beads because we know 8 is a bigger number than 2. Excellent job with the Reck and Rec, friends. I am so proud of you. Now it is time to go into our lesson. So let me get the lesson slides up for us. Okay, you should be able to see that, I'm pretty sure. So we are going to talk about story problems or word problems today. It is going to be a blast. Okay. We are going to solve different types of story problems today. So our CLT for the day, our clear learning target, is I can add or subtract to solve word problems. Let's say that together, friends. Are you ready? I can add or subtract to solve word problems. I hope you said that loud because it's very important. When we are doing our word problems today, I want us to think about when we add and when we subtract when we are solving these problems, okay? So let's start. Our first launch is this. Miss Bailey has 10 flowers. Some are in a yellow vase and some are in an orange vase. How many flowers can she put in her yellow vase and how many flowers can she put in her orange vase? Use a picture or model. Use a picture or model an equation to show your thinking. So if you have your counters around you or a piece of paper or a whiteboard, you can use any of those things as long as you can make an equation. So now I am going to give you a second to solve the problem. If you need more time, you can pause. And when you're done, you can hit play again and we will continue. Okay, did everybody get their equation written and solved? Let's talk about it. Where did you see the 10 flowers? You can tell someone around you. Excellent. How did you know how many flowers were in the yellow vase? You can tell someone near you. Good work. Could you represent that in another way? What is a different way you could show that? You can tell someone else near you. Great work. And now let's think. How did you know if you were supposed to add or subtract in that problem? Tell someone around you. Great work. Our second launch is this. There are 9 frogs at a pond. Aren't those frogs just so cute? Some are on the bank of the pond. And I know you're used to bank meaning a place where money goes. But a bank also means the area around a pond right before you get to the water. That's where frogs live sometimes and where they hang out. So that's what we're talking about in this problem. Some are on a bank and some are in the water. How many frogs could be on the bank and how many could be in the water? You can use the same materials from the first launch to solve this problem. So go ahead and solve your problem. If you need more time, you can pause it and hit play when you're ready to move on. Okay, did we figure out our frogs? Let's talk about it. Where do you see the 9 frogs? Tell someone near you. Awesome work. How did you know how many frogs were on the bank and how many frogs were in the water? Tell someone else near you. Nice job. Is there another way we can show that answer? Think about it and tell someone else near you or the same person. It doesn't matter. Great work. Now, how did you know if you were going to add or subtract when we were reading that problem? Tell someone around you. Great. Now you get to move into independent practice. In your green folder, there should be a sheet that looks just like this. You can get it out and work on it. You can always go back to this video if you need some extra help. Or if there's an adult around, they can probably help you too. When you're finished working on this, put it back in your green folder and you can give it to your teacher next time you come to school. You guys worked so hard today. I am so proud of you, and all of the first grade teachers are so proud of you. You guys are doing awesome, and you're amazing. When you're finished with your independent practice, you can take 20 minutes to work on iReady Math. Now, we know there have been some problems with iReady Math so far. So if your iReady Math is not working, is that okay? Yes, that is absolutely fine. Do not worry about it if it's not working. But if you're lucky and it does work, let's do 20 minutes of iReady Math, okay, friends? Thank you again for working so hard today. I am so proud of you, and we will see you next time.